3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. And his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Thank you, Jesse, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 130 of At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the Executioner, Daniel Travas.
I am the Unbreakable Spirit. When you hear the boxing bell, we'll do final thoughts for each topic, but let's run through them so you know what the heck we're talking about.
Yep. Number 1.
The rumors of Jacob Fatu's WWE debut.
2.
The rules of the WWE draft this year, which I'm surprised they have rules.
What?
What?
No. Number 3.
Honestly, at this point, it is a classic for this podcast. WWE releases.
Yep.
But first, let's hop into topic 1.
Yeah. Go ahead. Floor's yours.
Jacob Fatu has signed an interview with WWE, meaning he potentially could skip WWE development or go straight to the main roster, but I hear WWE wants to go and just burn through in a secret. Is that a smart idea? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. My quick take is WWE, yes, could take their time with him, which would logically be the smart move with the WWE. But knowing WWE and knowing how the bloodline has been running shit for the past 4 years, I highly doubt they will.
Yeah, but also Jacob would need to learn the WWE style and get out the MLW style.
I mean, they didn't do that shit. I mean, they didn't do that shit with with Tama Tonga.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
But no, it's just look with the bloodline storyline, like this shit, like, because look, if WWE I'm just gonna say this here. This might sound utterly insane, but I don't care. But that is this. What if WWE, one of their original plans, and this is totally spitballing and a crazy idea, is what if one of the plans was for Cody to lose, but in the way that they were going to do that was have Jacob Fatu cost Cody the match at Mania?
I mean, they could have done that, but I don't think they would because then they made one of the stipulations Cody would never get another title shot. And with how popular Cody, I'm going to say was, but that's because people can't be happy when they're a wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to find a way to work around it to where he could get another title shot.
Have him win Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that probably was gonna be the way they were gonna do it.
But okay,
but we'll never know because Cody won.
Yeah. But like regarding like Jacob Fatu, like, to me it's just like you don't realize how deep this bloodline runs in the WWE.
Yeah, there are a lot of members.
Hell, I mean, and I'm gonna say this once, but it's just I am genuinely surprised that the Bloodline hasn't added a woman to their faction.
I mean, they have three very viable options,
Naomi,
but they just don't pull the trigger.
Naomi. They could do Tamina. We don't know what the hell happened. They could do Nia Jax. They could do Tamina.
And
Which,
if she ever steps in the ring, then they could do Ava.
yeah, or just have Ava be the guy that gives the Bloodline all the gold down in NXT.
I mean, they technically have, for now at least, one title to go after.
Yeah. But my honest thoughts is like if the WWE has if they have Jacob Fatu go down to NXT, you need to have this guy have him debut in an amazing way. It doesn't, whether it be NXT or whether it be during the draft tomorrow night, have his debut be like a genuine what the fuck?
Yeah. If he does debut tomorrow night in the draft, they would have to sneak him into the building after the show has already started.
Yeah. Because I could genuinely see like Nick Aldis trying to have a busy night and so be like, yeah, you know what? Or I mean, because I could totally see Jacob Fatu beating up the Jimmy Uso, and like you see like some hooded figure beating him up backstage or some shit like that.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
What are your thoughts on WWE scooping up Jacob Fatu?
I mean, it's a big acquisition. He was a pretty big deal in MLW.
Yeah, 800 and I looked this up. 870 days as MLW World Champion.
Yikes. So, someone with that amount of just like star power, when you think about it, that's going to be a dangerous guy to deal with.
Yeah, like you have this new bloodline of Jacob. Yeah. Well, Max.
I'm going to apologize for my outburst at the beginning of the episode. Anyways, for thoughts, if the rumors are true and Jacob goes up to SmackDown or Raw, or wherever the bloodline ends up,
Which is yeah.
God help you, whoever he targets first.
Yeah.
And your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is if this is gonna be the new bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Solo Sikoa, I am honestly I am terrified to see what, and I'm also very intrigued to see where the bloodline storyline goes from here. And this might be really, I want to say this right now. I honestly hope that this just leads into Roman Reigns versus The Rock, but I also hope that this leads to a bloodline war games match.
That would be amazing. Like, are you saying like Roman returns and teams up with Jimmy and Jay to fight Solo, Tama, and
Jacob
Jacob?
Fatu. Yes.
That would be insane. But in order for anything to happen, we don't know what the landscape is gonna look like after Backlash. But in order to talk about that, we'll move on to topic number 2.
Hello, everybody. We are back with topic number 2, the rules for the draft, apparently.
Yeah, because they have rules for some reason.
Okay, rule 1. Each champion from each brand will not be eligible for the draft. That includes Damian Priest, Awesome Truth, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, and A-Town Down Under, and Logan Paul.
Yeah,
The-
but I hate to say it, that kind of makes me think that Cody's still gonna go to SmackDown. I know he's not
Ye-
eligible in the draft, but his title is assigned to SmackDown because I also have the draft rules pulled up. It says that champions on each brand are protected.
Yeah, which begs the question, how the fuck does that work for Cody?
I think he would technically be considered a SmackDown superstar now.
Okay, great. Rule 2 of the draft. Although champions have been allowed to each brand, both the women's tag team titles are eligible to be drafted.
Well, they are
After-
technically a tri-brand championship.
Yeah. Okay, which is interesting. Rule number 3. The first 4 picks, this is important, folks, of the draft will go to SmackDown.
Okay, I didn't know that. I just know that SmackDown will pick first on Friday.
Yeah, it says SmackDown will feature 4 rounds of picks announced at each round, which makes the total. SmackDown will get 16 picks and Raw will only get 8 picks.
Yeah.
And
No, it's different on Monday now, isn't it?
Yes. But like I will say, if you truly wanted to make this draft very more unpredictable, and I need to get this out of my system here, but have Ava join. You want to make this really unpredictable. Have people get drafted down.
Yeah.
Have NXT get some picks. Then you really have no idea.
Correct.
Okay. Rule 4 of the draft states, and I quote, Monday Night Raw will feature 6 rounds of eligible picks, which will bring the total of Raw will get a total of 24 picks. SmackDown will only get 12.
I thought it was 16.
All right, 6. This is
So in total, 40 superstars will be drafted. Potentially more if a tag team is drafted.
But it also begs the question is, what happens to those wrestlers that, I don't know, aren't drafted during the draft?
Free agents?
Yeah, okay. And it says, Rule 5 states, and I quote, SmackDown will get the first pick on Friday. Monday Night Raw will get the first pick on Monday. And I am also wondering is, with the draft happening, does that also mean that the commentary teams are eligible for draft as well?
I would assume so.
Because I'm wondering, because this is just a crazy hypothetical thing. What if they do the draft and Friday Night SmackDown gets Pat McAfee, Michael Cole, and Corey Graves, and Monday Night Raw gets, oh, I don't know, Wade Barrett and Vic Joseph, I don't know, like do that. Or pack it, or or Monday Night Raw just be Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, because which I really do want to see as a commentary team.
Wait, isn't that the current commentary team for Monday Night Raw? Pat and Michael?
Yeah,
Did you mean Pat and Corey?
Yeah, I really just 3 hours of Pat and Corey on commentary. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are your thoughts on this whole draft rules?
I think it's definitely interesting. I kind of wish they would have superstars represent them and then they battle to see who gets the first pick that round.
Yeah, I will admit I kind of do prefer that, because it's like, dude, the whole point of us watching pro fucking wrestling is to see pro fucking wrestling.
Yeah. And before we do the final thoughts, I just want to say these rosters don't lock in until May 6th. So even if you're drafted to Raw, you can appear on SmackDown until May 6th. Which, now that I think about it, is not that long.
No. But anyway, my final thoughts is I hope we genuinely in this draft here get some, because the past couple years, honestly, when WWE has done the draft, there hasn't really been a whole lot of what the hell? Holy surprise picks. There's been a few, but I want to, like when I hear about the draft, I want to be like, holy that's a surprise pick. I genuinely want to be surprised during the draft. That's my final thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. The way they do the draft these days, I hate to say it, is honestly a little more boring than back during, dare I say it, the early 2000s, when they had two superstars have an inter-brand match, and then whoever won got a draft pick.
Yeah, because to be honest, and I want to add on to what you said, this more feels like an MLB. It more feels like an MLB, NHL, NBA sort of draft
NBA?
pick, Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right.
Anyways, we'll be right back with the final topic, which will feature superstars that will not be a part of the draft.
Yep.
And we're back with the third and final topic, one we haven't talked about in a long time.
Yep.
Good job, WWE. Some superstars got released. The faction Indus Sher, Zion Quinn, Cameron Grimes, Xia Li,
Wait.
and
oh, I thought you were just gonna say their names and then give us your thoughts on their release.
Did I mention all of them?
Yeah. Zion Quinn too.
Yeah, I said him before Xia Li.
And Von Wagner.
Oh, wow. Well, Mr. Stone no longer has a contract, or a client, I should say.
My thoughts is I absolutely, and this needs to be said here, but I honestly think it is very hilarious that we waited so goddamn long for Veer Mahan to debut, have a couple matches, and then end up getting released.
Well, it wasn't a couple matches. He had some matches on main event while they were still teasing him on Monday Night Raw, which, for the record, main event is recorded before Raw, so he was literally competing in the city that Monday Night Raw was in. Then he got brought back down to NXT, reunited with Sangha and Jinder Mahal, formed in this year. They got called up, lost like literally a couple matches, and then got released.
I will say, I kind of feel bad for Jinder Mahal out of all three.
Yeah.
Because, like, you bring him back, he doesn't really do a whole lot of anything, and then it's his third time being, yeah,
I think you're right.
yeah, third time being fired. Got fired in 2014, rehired, fired again.
Rehired, fired again.
Won the WWE title in that amount of time.
Yeah, and WWE has actually given a reason why this time that was not just budget cuts.
What's the reason?
Lack of TV time. WWE. It's because you didn't book them to be on TV.
Seriously. But yeah, I want to give you my thoughts on Cameron Grimes. The guy did some stuff great in NXT, but he didn't really do much of anything, honestly, on the main roster.
I don't even remember the last time he was on SmackDown.
He lost a match to Braun Breaker.
Oh, right. Anyways, he's going to be going straight to the bingo halls.
Yeah, I will say, Von Wagner, I'm just like, really? Like, you'd think with the man of that size that WWE, even under Triple H's umbrella, would, strap him to the moon.
Do something with them.
Yeah, do something with him. Hell, to be honest, I'm surprised WWE didn't give him a more serious character, if I'm honest.
Yeah, especially with a legend of a father who, admittedly, I don't know the name of his father, but it was like one of the Brady Boys or something like that. I don't know.
Zion Quinn. The man looked like a legit, the man was like a very high profile
He
name.
looked like a threat.
Yeah, he looked like a high profile name during NXT 2.0. Like, I thought, because you told me something that made me just go, oh, I would want to pick a fight with that motherfucker, because you told me that this dude is part Samoan and part Irish. That is two people that you just don't pick a fight with.
Yeah. Think if like Sheamus and a feral Samoan woman had a baby, it would be Zion Quinn.
Yeah, but that's also like, as who else got released?
Xia Li.
Okay. Her character is very confusing because in NXT, they made her look like a legit threat. They brought her up to the main roster. Then she was a protector. And didn't do much shit with her.
And then she was the protector of catering.
Yeah. I mean, like, her entrance, don't get me wrong, her entrance was cool.
Yeah.
I just,
But
cause
that's pretty much all we
yeah,
saw.
yeah, she was just
And
there.
she was reduced to cameos in the Royal Rumble before getting released.
Yeah. So Matthew, let me ask you this question, because I ask you this every time. But hang on. Before we do final thoughts, this is my last thing I want to ask, and I'm curious to your answer. Was there any releases this time that were a surprise for you?
Honestly, some of them I had pulled to you and forgotten they were employed.
Okay, I appreciate the honesty. All right. Final thoughts here.
But if I had to pick one that surprised me, not in the sheer in general, just Jinder Mahal. I mean,
Yeah.
the man's a former WWE champion.
Yep. All right, Matthew. What are your final thoughts?
Best of luck to their future endeavors, and maybe they'll find more success on the Indies or in AEW, which to me, AEW doesn't stand for All Elite Wrestling. It stands for All X WWE. What are your final thoughts?
First of all, what is it? That was a good one.
I found a photo on Facebook and I hadn't found a way to basically show it to you, so I
Okay.
incorporated it.
My final thoughts is, there, like, to me, the only one that is genuinely a surprise on release is Von Wilder, because you had him once on NXT get nearly quote murdered, and you didn't really do shit with that.
Yeah, also keep in mind, he was a free agent, so if he wanted to, he could have appeared on the main roster. But instead, he decided
Same
to
as
go back
Zion
to
Quinn.
NXT.
Same as Zion Quinn.
Yeah, the last time I saw Zion Quinn on any sort of WWE television was the 2023 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, but my thoughts is, well, hey, look, to end on my thoughts here is, look, there's not really a whole lot I could say, but I'll let you go straight to the unemployment line now.
At least for 90 days.
Yeah, but anyway, all I gotta say is, and I look forward to covering this when the next group of talent gets released.
Yeah, hopefully by then the FTC would have banned non-compete clause.
Yep.
And they could just immediately start working somewhere else.
You want to say it or should I?
I say it this week. Roll that outro. Thank you for listening to At Odds, hosted by the Unbreakable Spirit
and the Executioner,
edited by the Unbreakable Spirit. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MTS_life_0126.
You can follow me on Instagram at DanTravis121, and you can also follow me on the Twitter at DanTheExecutioner21.
And you can follow the podcast at Odds Podcast. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussions. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.
Thank you, losers.